Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of
Virginia.
There's a clip that's been making the rounds. Maybe you've come across it, but if you haven't, have a look.
Okay. First question, wait a minute. First question, is it coming home? It's coming home.
So I'm gonna pause it there because it seems like a normal interview, you know, nothing special. England fans being England fans. However,
Okay, let's go.
let's have a look at the Israeli journalist once more.
Okay, let's go.
Boy, I mean, they really caught him off guard, mate. They curled that in very nicely and he didn't see it coming. Israeli journalists have not been doing well in Qatar, and this is a breath of fresh air for Muslims, the average Muslims, I guess I would say, because in the last couple of years, we've heard a lot of nonsense, yeah? We've heard Morocco normalizing ties with Israel, UAE, and the likes, yeah? The list goes on. And it's unfortunate because whenever it's then reported, a lot of lay people say the government unfortunately does not reflect the majority of the population. The majority of the population is with the Palestinian people. And of course it is unfortunate because the Palestinians and people in other countries do assume and judge the book by the cover and think it's that country, when of course it's not. Yeah, it's not the people. But regardless, respect to these fans, and I think he wasn't the only one. There was also this guy as well.
Sorry for my Mafi Arabia. Just two things to say.
أعتذر عن
It's coming home.
إجادة اللغة العربية. أقول أن كرة القدم ستعود إلى وطنها وإلى موطنها. وثانيا فلسطين حرة.
Good on you, Dave. And this is, I guess, another thing that's beautiful about this competition being held in Qatar, because it's not going to be an atmosphere in which people can't say these sorts of things. It's an atmosphere that's bringing different aspects of our social life into the forefront. For example, conversations to do with LGBT, conversations to do with alcohol, conversations to do with dressing provocatively, and of course to do with Palestine. I'm sure there's others as well. But there is one point I wanted to tackle, which is I've seen a comment a few times, yeah, and I can vibe with this because an average person could think like this. Anytime you see war taking place, Muslims are involved. Why is this the case, mate? Yeah, is the issue to do with Muslims? Well, let me give you the flip side of the coin, because the media will portray that it is Muslims, it's the theology of the Muslims, but I will put forward two arguments. The first is drawing of borders by Western occupying forces. In other words, when the Western countries like England or the US have invaded another country, they will interfere. They will, when they leave, they will draw the borders. They will split up tribes, which will then continue warring with each other. Again, I can't make the video too long, so I'm going to put the words on the screen. Please make sure you research each and every single one. Memorize it, because this is something that you need to know, and it can save your faith, your iman. And those of you sitting on the fence, you could be like, yo, this guy is not just giving his emotions and his feelings. These are facts. The first thing that you need to search is Sykes-Picot, drawing borders in the Middle East. Number 2 is the Durand line. Number 3 is the Radcliffe line. Number 4 is Balfour Declaration. And number 5 is the Berlin Conference. So all of these are to do with Western occupying forces going in, drawing lines, leaving, and then even till now wars are taking place, be it in Africa, be it in Kashmir, you name it, mate. Lord Crewe said in the 1920s and the Foreign Office in 1958 that the aim was to keep Arabia divided so no one unified power could challenge Western interests. And you look at Iraq and its oil, and because, and all the experts, like, this isn't something I'm just pulling out of my hat. I can't say the word, I'll just have it on the screen because the video will get flagged. This group emerged because of the illegal invasion of Iraq. and not to mention interference with Saudi to leverage their oil. I mean, that's the reason why dollar is very strong, because of something called the petrodollar. You need to search that up as well. And a non-Muslim academic that's also of the opinion that these wars that take place are not to do with religion. They're to do with politics and land. And her book is called Fields of Blood by Karen Armstrong. So those of you that have these things in your head, yeah, but is it the Muslims? Is it this? Hopefully this will shed some light, and I've given you some homework to do as well. I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves. It's always a pleasure. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.